Hey guys, my name is Daniel. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Now in this video I'm going to share with you things I wish I knew earlier as an international student in the United Kingdom. Now many of you that have been in the UK for a while, many of you can attest to the fact that for you to survive in this country called the UK, you need to have access to information. Now, one of the questions I want to ask is, why do I think I've got the right to, share with you guys my insight on what things I wish I knew earlier that you should harness the opportunity. Now, for so many of you that have been, I've been on this channel, many of you actually know my journey, how I was able to secure a skilled worker visa and transitioned into data analytics about 6 months before my student visa expired. So I was already on the skilled worker visa about 5 to 6 months before my student visa expired. And within the space of 7 months, I've been able to get into a senior data analyst role. I've mentored quite a number of international students with a track record of students getting into their desired field. I've been able to tutor and coach so many people who are looking at transitioning into data analytics. And guys, there are evidence of people getting and landing their job in 2023. Actually got one person who also got a job this year in 2024. So yeah, those are some of the things I've done in the space of living in the UK for the last 3 years, and I felt it is a need for me to share with you guys my experience on things I wish I knew earlier. Some things that so many people are actually not harnessing the opportunity they're not harnessing here in the United Kingdom. So if you're an international student in the UK, or you're currently on the post-study work visa and you're looking at getting a profession, you're looking at transitioning into a different field entirely from what you used to do back in your home country, then you want to sit through this video and make sure you watch till the end. And if you're coming across this channel for the first time, do hit the subscribe button to join the amazing growing family. And my returning subscribers, thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate you guys. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Studying in the UK actually requires a lot of financial investment. That's why my first information, or the first thing international students need to know early is for those who are still looking at coming into the UK in 2024. Now, the first thing I wish I knew early was that making money in the UK is not as easy as people actually paint it. Now, for those who are looking at coming to the UK, please ensure you have enough funds before you move into the UK as an international student. Now, even when I came in 2021, things, in January 2021, things were actually a bit still easier because the country was still recovering from COVID. There are lots of jobs, people are out of jobs, they are on sick leave and all of those things. So there are quite a lot of jobs for part-times, especially for students like us. We're able to get quite a number of jobs to meet up with the 20 hours contracted hours we're allowed to work while on session. Now, so we're able to get quite a number of jobs. Now, the same city I was living in 2021, in 2024 now, people are actually finding it difficult to even get a 5-hour shift per week. So it's quite difficult for people to get a job. So getting a job in the UK is not as easy, especially for part-time students, as people actually paint it. So if you're coming to the UK, make sure you have enough fund to fund your studies here in the United Kingdom. Now, the second mistake, or the second thing I wish I knew earlier as an international student, is to network. Guys, I got my first data analytics role in the UK because I had a conversation with someone on LinkedIn, and he shared with me, oh, this is what I do, this is where I work, I'm an international student, I'm going to be running off in the next 3 months, and I just got a job as a data analyst. I'm like, so it's actually possible. Now, networking is one thing you should do, and I think it's one of the things I didn't do early enough. My first 2 years was focused on making money to pay off my bills, sort out my financial obligations. I wasn't really networking. It's from home down to work, back to school, even people from my classes, I wasn't networking enough. So it's very important for you to network, have conversations with people. You never can tell. The person you're speaking with can actually give you an insight on what to do next. Now, the next information, or next thing I wish I knew earlier as an international student in the United Kingdom, is to make sure I do internship. And this is one of the mistakes I made personally. Now, I came to the UK for a 2-year master's program. The first year was supposed to be for classes, and the second year was also for internship. Now, I didn't do the internship, not because I didn't want to do it, but because I wasn't really intentional about getting the internship role. So many of my colleagues were, pushing out applications, contacting the employment department, employment division in my university. Now, I wasn't really intentional. I think I only contacted them to help me work on my CV, and I was supposed to come back to them for like a review. I never booked an appointment, basically. Now, getting an internship is one of the things that would give you competitive advantage while you're studying and trying to get into the labor market or the job market here in the United Kingdom. So you need to make sure you try to do internships. So even if your job or your studies doesn't include placements, try to look for internship role during your holidays, during your summer break. That particular work experience or internship role is going to give you competitive advantage when you start pushing out application. So it actually made me struggle a lot when I was trying to get a job, because I had no UK experience, and that's one of the most important things you should have here in the United Kingdom. Now, another mistake another thing I wish I knew earlier is not searching for a job as soon as possible. Now, you might want to ask me, but I got a visa 6 months before my student visa expired. Why was that a mistake for me? Now, the reason that was a mistake for me was because I wish I started applying earlier, because unlike now, then most organizations still, are willing to give you the skilled worker visa, the COS and Home Office will give you the skilled worker visa even before completion of a program. But now that doesn't work, so it might be a bit dicey. So if you're currently in the UK trying to get a job, then I think the best time to apply, and this is one of the most questions most people ask me, is to start applying 3 months before the end of the program. Now, this is why. Now, many of these organizations or many of this recruitment process takes a while, so many times you might want to push out your application. I think I got my job sometime in January, and my student visa was supposed to expire in July. Now, I didn't resume until April that year, so that's to tell you how long it takes. It took about 3 to 4 months before I got the offer in January, and I resumed mid or even late April. I think I was on the 18th or about April. So yeah, it takes a while for the whole recruitment onboarding process to happen. So I think by the time you're ready to get in, you would have probably completed your master's program in the United Kingdom. So yeah, start applying early, as soon as possible. It's really, really important, because you don't want to get stuck or not being able to get that desired job that you want. Now, another mistake most international students make is that they decide to choose care visa route over post-study visa. Now, for me, for those of you that have been following my channel, I'm really an advocate of people, especially if you've got like a career dream, you're still single. Now, this advice is not generic. Now, many people would say, oh, if you've got a family, it's just easier and cost-effective to apply for the care visa. For instance, if you've got a wife and 3 kids, if you're applying for the skilled worker visa, if you're applying for the post-study work visa from 18th of January 2024, it means that you're going to be spending about £1,000 per year for each applicant. So if you've got 4, so it means that you're going to be paying £8,000, over £8,000 for IHS fee, and you also need to pay for the visa fee. So at the end of the day, you probably end up spending about £12,000 for the post-study work visa. However, if you apply for the care visa, you don't get to pay IHS fee. You spend less than £2,000. So yeah, this advice will not be generic, especially for those who have got family. It makes more sense to apply for the care visa than applying for the post-study work visa if you have to choose. However, if you're a young person, you're single, you have no financial obligations, I would advise, and the care visa route is not the career path for you. Of course, there's so many people that went through the career path of the care visa, and you can, of course, get more certification and go to become a manager in the care room or wherever. However, if that is not the career path you want for yourself, and you're just desperate to get on the visa, I think it's more advisable for international students who are unable to secure the skilled worker visa to apply for the post-study work visa and start pushing more and become more aggressive and intentional. Now, it's not just being aggressive to get a job, you have to be aggressive and also intentional and strategic in getting a job. And of course, you need to get that done, and do that during the period of a post-study work visa, and then see how you can get a skilled worker visa or global talent visa along the line. Now, and also one of the things most international students don't do is they try to start one of the things I learned also, I was actually pushing out application with the CV I was using back in Nigeria, and I think that was one of the major mistakes I made personally. And I got to discovered that a bit early. That was even through a conversation with someone. I was like, oh, you're actually applying with the same CV you used in Nigeria. There's a structure for the UK CV. Then I went online, made my research, did a CV, and it was one of the major game changer on my application. So if you're struggling with getting interviews and it's quite difficult because your CV is actually not selling you properly, then you want to check out my CV writing service, just go to the link in the description below, click on the link, get your CV properly written, and I will put a hand to those rejection email you get and unable to get interview invite. So if you find this video resourceful, or if you're an international student, or you recently moved to a skilled worker visa and there's some mistakes you made and you think it's important for people not to make same mistake, please share that in the comment section. So if you're coming across my channel for the first time and you find this video resourceful, please click on the like button and also click on the red subscribe button below to join the amazing growing family. My returning subscribers, you guys are the real MVP. Thank you for being here. I really do appreciate you guys. So this will be the end of this video, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you.